everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So 17 hours ago at the time I'm making this video, the governor of Pennsylvania, Tom Wolf, put out a tweet about red flag laws that you absolutely have to see. It is extremely eye-opening. So we're going to be talking about that today. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, I just want to let you know I really appreciate you watching these videos. It means a lot. If you wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. It would help me out greatly. And also check out the main sponsor of this channel, which is the USCCA. Absolutely the best membership you could ever have in your wallet with self-defense, liability insurance, and more. So check out the USCCA. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's go and talk about this tweet by Governor Tom Wolf. Now, there is an image attached to this tweet. I'm going to show you guys that image after I read you the tweet, but it's the image that I think is the most important thing because I think this is probably going to be shared across the country. It's basically a little cartoon, like a comic strip, and it shows you the procedures for a red flag law. What's interesting is they say that this is actually what they would consider due process. So let me go ahead and read you the tweet itself. Governor Tom Wolf, okay, red flag laws allow us to take action when someone who has a gun begins to act erratically. Red flag laws still require due process, and any removal of weapons is temporary. Now here is the image that he posted below that showing what they would consider due process. Take a look. Okay, so I'm looking at this image with you, and we're gonna go over this, but I don't see anywhere where due process actually takes place. I'm looking at the arrows and how you go from one step to the next step to the next step to the next step. The problem is here is that the person who is being accused is never involved in any of these steps until the very last step, right? So he's basically left out of the entire process until they finally come and they have their warrant, right? So there is no due process for the person that they're talking about in this image. The other thing that kind of bothers me about this image is that they're talking about a social media post, right? Some type of, social media post, and that's basically all it took. So there's a woman that sees a social media post, she doesn't like it, so she calls the cops. The cops, they sign a petition, the petition goes in front of a judge, and then the judge sends him out to his house to remove him of his, rights. And this is what he is calling due process. Again, in his tweet, it says that they still have due process, and that it's only temporary. So that's what he said in his tweet, but the image that I'm seeing that he posted below, kind of describing the entire process, due process is not a part of it. Now, I'm sure there's people out there that are wondering, what does due process even look like in a situation like this? Is it possible to add some type of due process to red flag laws? And the answer is no, and that's because they work completely backwards from the standard judicial process, which is you are innocent and presumed innocent until found guilty, until proven guilty, right? So the state has an obligation to prove your guilt. And until that point, you are presumed innocent. When it comes to red flag laws, they work completely opposite. You are presumed guilty until at a later date, you can try and prove your innocence. As long as it works backwards and you're not innocent until they prove that you're guilty, then there is no due process, right? So all of the steps that are in between don't really matter. There's no due process in there, and the person who is at risk of essentially losing some of their rights during this entire process isn't even aware that it's going on, or that, hey, there's a judge making a decision about something that's very important to your life, until the order is served at the very end. How is that possibly due process? But they see this as a big win based on that cartoon and how the arrows point very simply so everybody understands how easy this is to make it happen. They see due process in that. There's no due process when you offended somebody and somebody didn't like what you did, so they signed an affidavit, and the police go and sign an affidavit, and the judge makes an order, and they take away your rights, and then, 30 days down the road, maybe you get a chance to try and prove that they were wrong. And that's what people are calling due process. Anyway, I can rant about this for days, but this picture illustrates exactly where their frame of mind is and what their thought process is on these laws, which are backwards. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of make this point that you're probably going to see this image floating around and how backwards it actually is. There can't be due process in something like this. So anyway, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.